Hello everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. I'm joined today by Alex, the features editor, and Lisa from the features team, who is reasonably new. And this is our inaugural Facebook Live. So now that I know that she's willing to do it, that's probably going to happen quite a lot. We're here to, well, we were inspired kind of by the weather, which I'm sorry to say has taken a turn for the worse today. Yesterday was the hottest day of the year, and last night there was quite a significant thunderstorm, and now we're just kind of hot and close and not terribly nice. But we were going to talk about the Seaside. Seaside holidays, a staple of every British childhood, surely, or certainly mine at least, and kind of lead into National Marine Week, which is an awareness week which actually lasts 2 weeks, from the wildlife trusts to encourage people to kind of enjoy the marine environment in a responsible way. But we'll start off with the Seaside. We were just speaking, Alex, you were concerned when you were growing up that anyone north of a certain line going to the beach had a death wish.
Well, yeah, I grew up in South Devon. I was only a couple of miles away from the beach, and our nearest beach was a really kind of deep red sandy beach at Teignmouth, and it's cold enough down there, so I was always a bit surprised. Even going up to North Devon was a bit of an adventure. We didn't do that very often, so I always thought people that did that were a bit brave. But the idea of it just always seemed for us, as a small child and not being very worldly, the further north you went, it seemed the kind of worse the weather got. But I think that kind of came from family holidays to Wales and the Lake District, where there is a disproportionate amount of rain. But we didn't. Yeah, I used to really enjoy it. Used to do all the sort of classic things, like building a sandcastle and swimming in the sea, which was not too bad.
Now, were you like sand fortress? Were you like a one bucket man, or did you have a whole thing going on?
One bucket. I was a one bucket man. Yeah, we just had the one bucket, but it did have the little turrets. It had 4 turrets.
That's the one. That's the one that's in every shop along the seaside, and every seaside, like a lime green bucket and a pink spade.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's a thing.
Yeah, so you have this really rough kind of rampart around it, your little moat and stuff like that, and then that's they could get quite advanced. Were you an architect?
Yeah, well, I attempted to be. I think I attempted to be kind of quite clever, and it very rarely came off. I think it mostly wound up looking a bit like I buried someone. Although frequently I also did that, which was also a thing. Some of the beaches around about here are really nice. The East Sands in St Andrews is a really nice beach, and it's usually jammed when the weather is. I imagine yesterday it was very busy. And I guess we went to Arbroath, which is also not very far from here, but that beach always reminds me of Pain. Mostly, it's quite sharp. It's one of those beaches that's kind of full of that sort of shingly shell stuff, and I think my parents would always be like, "Go and play on the beach," and then I'd kind of do that kind of ginger walk like that, like you're kind of walking on needles.
Did you ever go down as far as Brighton?
No, we did a lot of sort of seaside resorts. We did kind of Blackpool and Southend, I think, and we were in Morecambe because my father likes a long drive. And they're really nice sort of places to wander about and things, but by that stage, I think I was too cool for beach holidays. I think I sort of decided, I'm not going and playing in the sand. I will wait here and read trashy sci-fi novels that I brought with me in the car. That's that sort of thing. But you, Lisa, spend a bit more time active on beaches. You were saying that you go cycling.
Yeah, well, round Cumbria, also known as Millport. So my grandparents had a flat in Millport, and we'd go there. Like, I can't remember if it'd be as much as every year or as often as every year, but it was a favourite family destination, and the flat was right. I think it was called Seaview, so it was just like right over the beach, and to have picnics, and if it was a bit windy, we'd get actual sand in your sandwiches, and
it's all part of the experience.
Yeah, and then they have like a stray cycle around the island, and it's just kind of a nice memory that I have of being able to kind of go to the beach so easily. It's just right across the road from the flat. And we no longer have that flat in the family, but we still go back to Millport, like not every year, but like still fairly regularly. So many happy memories. So.
And Millport, of course, was recently in the magazine.
It was, yes.
Magazine earlier this year, Eager Spotters. But yeah, no, it was. Oh, it's good. So many good memories as well. Do you remember like when you used to go into the water and you come out and everything would get covered in sand and it'd be stuck to you, and you would just be. I remember like at the end of the day, you do that last dip and then you come in and it's really annoying, and your parents make you shiggle your shorts off underneath the towel, and you've got the kind of sandy feet and stuff like that. You want to kind of lie there just until it dries off, and then you can just brush it off.
And you can chisel it off.
Yeah,
I think if my father had taken a hose with him, he would have hosed us down. I think that would have been easier to do. We've been joined by Jeanette and Amanda. Morning.
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 Seaside holidays, what do you think?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of kind of any specific seasidey memories, or memories the likes of this heat wave that we've had that lasted an entire day and a half. Any memories from times like that where we've done specific things because of the weather? I mean, obviously everyone goes for an ice cream as soon as the weather creeps above about 5 degrees in Scotland. It's ice cream time.
Mr. Whippy, did you ever Mr. Whippy?
Mr. Whippy is fantastic. The wee ice cream vans that only exist in seaside towns. I don't think I've ever seen them anywhere else. There's probably about 50 of them in the whole country, and they stay in exactly the same place and dish out ice cream to excited children.
What other kind of seaside paraphernalia did you have? Did you ever rub a dinghy?
No. That would have been great.
Oh, yeah, that was fantastic. Little oars as well. We used to have the one that I had. You could barely fit in, because I was quite a large child, obviously growing into quite a tall person. I kind of remember being able to sit in it and my legs hang over the edge of it. It was supposed to be like a 2-child one, but not for tall people. But it was fantastic, just getting out to the sea and kind of get a bit worried sometimes about possibly getting blown over
about
France.
Coming back again.
But that was fun. That was great.
Child crosses channel in dinghy. Amanda was saying she lives in Hastings on the south coast, but avoids the beach because it's manic, which I could probably sympathise with. I think it gets a bit less enjoyable if you've got people's elbows in your
It's not so much fun.
No, we did. There was a feature we did. I actually can't quite remember if it's come out on sale yet, but it was in one of the specials, and it was about seaside holidays back in the day when they were a huge thing, and families all over the country used to go. And the shots of all the famous resorts back in those days, when they were literally jam-packed on the beach, you just had more, kind of only 2 feet between you and the next people. It was so popular back in the day. So popular before kind of cheap flights took off, and we were all heading away to kind of Italy for the beach.
Cheap flights took off.
Accidental fun there.
That's very good. I put a picture up when I put the kind of join us on Facebook Live thing, and it's a vintage picture of Blackpool Beach.
Yeah.
But when I was going through some of the other ones that were there was Victorian ones.
Yeah.
And there's these sort of Victorian women in head to toe, like great big black dresses with a huge like black hat with like a veil, like they were going to a funeral.
Wow.
Which I think would significantly affect your enjoyment of the seaside, really.
I think so.
They used to have those. They don't used to have those big, what kind of sheds on wheels. They used to roll
like a changing.
Yeah, like a kind of modesty.
Tent.
Sort of modesty thing where they would wind down to the shore or something. But yeah, and then in the 60s, they're not kind of go the other way and just start oiling themselves up to get the tans.
I think pretty much. I think they swung the other way.
Yeah.
So to
too
speak.
far. Yeah.
So the other thing that we were talking about, which is slightly more relevant now that the weather has deserted us, the Wildlife Trust's National Marine Week starts tomorrow, and they're confusingly for 2 weeks. Their idea is that by raising awareness of all the things you can do in marine environments, they're hoping that people will enjoy them more, but enjoy them more responsibly as well. Try not to litter the place with plastic. Be mindful of things that you're flushing down the sink kind of thing, because it damages the marine environment, it damages the marine animals. We've recently been watching in my house, we've been watching Our Planet, which is obviously a David Attenborough documentary that was very big when It made a big splash
Hey.
when it came out not that long ago, and it is kind of distressing to see the impact that you can have accidentally on the natural environment. So this Marine Week is going to be quite a good thing for encouraging people to behave themselves. We have a couple of features that are going to go up on the website over the next couple of weeks about things that you can do and things that our travel writer forced himself to do, eating seaweed.
Oh, Woody Shant, yeah. Apparently it's very nice. But you said you weren't that keen.
Oh, I don't buy that.
Too salty.
Surely. Have you ever had it?
Yeah.
Oh dear, I haven't even made it that far.
No, I think I had it wrapped around sushi and it's horrible.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we had it in as somebody dried it out and made crisps out of it, which I didn't. I must admit, I didn't try. They didn't look like the right kind of texture. But I don't know. I wonder if we have to just kind of get over that in the future. They keep saying we're going to have to be eating these things that do grow a bit easier and a bit less high maintenance.
Well, that's true.
Seaweed is one of them. And one of the actually, I just put it into the. If you're a regular reader at the magazine, you'll know what this week we're loving page. But an article that I put in that's coming up in August was about the first English seaweed farm that they've opened on the Northumbrian coast, the Yorkshire coast. Sorry, so they're actually growing this stuff deliberately, which is in a way is amazing because it doesn't actually. What intrigued me was that it doesn't. You think of crops, regular crops, obviously take a lot of maintenance. There's fertilizers, there's land that they require, a lot of water, certain conditions of weather. Whereas seaweed, it doesn't need fertilizing. It grows very well by itself. It doesn't take any land because it's grown in sea, and it's just a really low energy crop that is actually really nutritious. So it could be part of our future. Can be seeing that in restaurants and stuff near.
Not ones that I'm going to frequent. Deborah loves my T-shirt on my door. Thank you very much.
You've got quite a good collection of T-shirts.
I'm cultivating one. I got one from the Strawberry Tea about 2 weeks ago. Banana Man. It has a picture of Banana Man and it says "Man of Peel" on it. I think that might be my new favourite. I suppose they are talking about kind of alternatives, and Willie in that article goes into all the different kinds that they all have. He alleges they all have different tastes.
Not just salty.
Yeah, it's not just mush from the sea, which is kind of what it looks like. So I guess it could be interesting for other people and not me.
I would give it a try. I would definitely give it another try. I think somehow knowing the sustainability of it helps me be attracted to it as a food.
It can take the edge off the taste, knowing that you're behaving in a responsible way.
If it was like done maybe with a different texture, like if it was crispier rather than kind of, you said mushy. Mushy does not sound appetizing at all.
Not appealing, really.
To be honest, I used to have quite severe, well not severe, but quite sincere deep phobia of water when I was little. Not just deeper water, so when you were swimming and you were kind of conscious that the ground was dropping away, you used to get freaked out a little bit. And I also used to freak out quite a lot when the seaweed used to come up and sort of tangle itself around your legs. So in the sea it kind of freaks out about the texture of that. It's very nice.
So you're not anticipating any kind of flashbacks if you attempt to eat seaweed?
No, probably not. No, because I didn't eat it at the time. It just kind of freaked me out with its texture. But
so there are a number of things that the Wildlife Trust are kind of recommending that you could do, kind of easy actions that you can take during Marine Week. Things like, if you're wandering around the coastline or along a beach, you pick up litter that you see, kind of generally responsible things. Be conscious of the kind of plastics that you're using and how you dispose of them. And also you need to kind of watch what you're flushing down the toilet or putting down the sink. There has been recently a big thing about wet wipes, about how people are kind of flushing them and they don't degrade, so they cause quite a lot of harm to the natural environment.
I don't know if you remember seeing it on the Between Friends page a few weeks ago. There was a bin that was like shaped like a fish. I think it was somewhere in Spain, and the idea was that people visiting that beach would put their bottles specifically into this fish-shaped receptacle, and then it would get recycled. And it was just kind of a way of making something like functional like that kind of a bit more attractive, and might encourage people to actually put their bottles in there. I don't know if they've got anything like that here on the beaches here, but that could be a good idea.
I don't think I've seen anything like that, but kind of making that connection between, you know, the animal and disposing of things responsibly, it seems to be a good way of reminding people that they kind of need to behave themselves.
That's what I've seen, because we used to live in Broadley Ferry, and Broadley Ferry has a very lovely beach as well. We used to go out there quite a lot. But sometimes after really busy days on the beach, you would go down in the evening once everybody had left, and there would quite often be quite a lot of stuff left, just kind of plastic bottles, and some people would leave those kind of wind-proof surrounding things. There'd be quite often a few of those left. It seemed like a bit of a shame, really. I don't really understand why you wouldn't just pick up your stuff when you go, but if there are ways to encourage people to do it, then definitely.
There's also, there's a company, I think it's in Aberdeen, that they take rubbish that they find on the beach and they clean it all up and they turn it into jewellery, like really,
really cool.
high-end kind of jewellery. It's really, really nice. That's kind of a good idea.
That's really cool.
But then that's kind of because people have left their rubbish in the first place. And
I suppose their business model is based on people being terrible.
Having no respect for the environment at all.
Some of the other things that the Wildlife Trust encourage you to do, you can go and spot animals. They're using it. I think it's the National Whale and Dolphin Conservation Society are spearheading an initiative where you can go to certain places on the coast and spot whales and dolphins and report it to them, and they use it as a way of kind of tracking the populations of these animals. So you get to go and spot these animals, and these animals are incredible. But also you're kind of doing your bit for a conservation body as well, which is really good. And we've got a feature about that, which I think will pop up on the weekend on the website.
We're quite lucky with that here as well, aren't we? Because we do have the dolphins that pop up and down the Tay from time to time. They seem to visit all the sort of estuaries up and down Scotland as well. Quite common up in Inverness Way and stuff. It's beautiful to see them. It's amazing. Let us know if you guys have seen any or you have any near you, but it's an amazing sight, seeing a little pod of them going around.
It might be easier. We occasionally have people who tune in from Australia, and I know that when we were there, they were running whale watching tours from Sydney and things, which we sadly missed because there's like a season for it, and we weren't there at the time. I think that thing might be just slightly more common, probably.
I would imagine so. I think there's certain places that they frequent, don't they? But we were in the Azores about this time last year, and we went out on a trip, and it was fantastic because they have all these little. They used to be kind of whaling stations where they used to keep an eye out for the whales so that they could obviously bring them in for food. But now they use them just for spotting whales. So we were in a little kind of inflatable boat zipping around as they called in where they'd seen one, trying to chase one, finally see one. We did just see one. It didn't do an awful lot. It just kind of it blew out of its blowhole, and we saw the back of it, and then it died. And that's an amazing thing. They're such huge animals, and I think it's good to remember that they're there, basically.
Did anyone on the boat shout "There's your blood"?
No, they didn't.
Because they should have done. Actually, some of the miraculous things you read, like I read about a whale that had been kind of, I think it had died. I think it had beached itself somewhere, and they found the head of a harpoon in it that was something like 100 years old or something like that. So a whaling ship had attempted to get it 100 years ago, and this thing was still alive. Kind of that's incredible.
That's incredible.
There was a thing on, I don't know how viral it went, but we saw it on our Twitter stream. There was a thing the other day where some divers were somewhere tropical, fairly shallow water, and a manta ray came up to them, and wasn't put off by them being there, and actually just kind of presented its belly to them, and they just kind of carried on about their business and ignored it, but it kept doing this apparently, and it turned out after about the 5th or 6th time they went in a bit closer to the manta ray and found that it had a little fisherman's hook stuck in it, and they very carefully managed to get this back out again, and then the manta ray just kind of went off again. I thought that's pretty cool. If you can find that online, that's worth looking up, because that was quite amazing.
If that popped up on the BBC or something, we could maybe put it up here.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it. And then, that's an amazing video. Just
Jeanette's telling us that they were at Tentsmuir Beach last week and filled a large bag with plastic rubbish left by the visitors, and took it back, but there didn't seem to be any recycling. So.
No, sometimes there's not enough. Sometimes there aren't enough bins. I mean, they're getting pretty good about the dog poo bins and stuff like that, especially at Broughty Ferry, but there aren't always places to. Do you kind of need that somewhere to kind of
like maybe a kind of that encouragement.
Yeah.
I certainly don't remember doing any of that when I was a child. I just basically remember kind of tasting suntan lotion. Suntan lotion and sand, and that's probably about, and rock. You know, because that's
Seaside Rock.
Seaside Rock, like Blackpool. And I never went to Brighton, but I've also never seen Brighton Rock, for all you Rochdale fans out there.
But then I don't know, was that a different, I mean, maybe that was a different age when I don't really remember single-use plastics being such a big thing back in roughly our sort of day. I remember my mum would be taking Tupperware and thermos flasks and all this sort of stuff. You would bring
that you would reuse. You would go and
you would basically, you wouldn't think of leaving anything behind because it was, Tupperware. You cared about it.
You'd paid for that. That was your Tupperware.
You went to a party for that. You were taking that home. So it just wasn't really a thing. I guess it's just, everybody's trying to be encouraged to use less of them, but ironically there are more and more of them than there ever were. So definitely
take your stuff home. The message from today's Facebook Live is take your stuff home. We will leave it there. So if you want to tell us about things that you did at the Seaside when you were a kid, we would love to hear them. You can comment here, or there's a post slightly earlier on Facebook. You can comment there as well, and we will have a read of them. And National Marine Week starts tomorrow and runs for 15 days. There is a website, I'll put the link to it here, the Wildlife Trust website, where they suggest some things that you can do, and they also have a list of events that are happening. You can search kind of for your local area and find things that are going on. So enjoy that, and we will catch up with your progress at next week's Facebook Live. So thank you for joining us, and have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.